doing. Before I get started, over a few things I take during the winter season. I take this stuff almost religiously. Black elderberry. I go through a bottle of this like probably every 2 weeks. Subscribe and save. And I take this too. They just found that extract specifically works on influenza, other diseases, and it's one of those things when you know about stuff, but you don't have the money. Now you have the money to get stuff, so you invest in it. Big believer in this. It's really made for macular degeneration in the eyes. It's got like 1,000 ingredients, 1,000 herbs in it. It's really made to get your body ready for cold weather. That's what it's made for. But once again, having money, and I wanted to have a stockpile of it, so bam, got a new one. This stuff you want to keep a lot of it. Just get your body ready for shocks and stuff. Brain fuel. It's good stuff here. I want to talk about a case here. A former Houston police officer who was arrested for violent attempt to find voter fraud. Before I get started, this is actually elderberry and echinacea. These are two immune boosters. Echinacea, really good for you, but I think you must take it like up to 90 days. You can't keep taking it because eventually it'll like lose effectiveness or whatever. So, just want to put it across the bow. This case, he was a captain. Former Houston police officer, police department captain Mark Anthony Aguirre, charged of holding air-conditioned man at gunpoint in a fake voter fraud conspiracy. The reason why I make a big deal about his former rank, is this is not the first high-ranking police officer to do this. I mean, there was a guy in Alabama who was a captain or a lieutenant who said that we should shoot Joe Biden's supporters in the head. This isn't some buck corporal who just fucking joined the force like 2 years ago or 3 years ago and is still finding his way around the police department, who like people still know the name of. This is a guy who's been there more than 10 years who's espousing terroristic language. I mean, then they had one with the one in Louisville that was like, all these people that are protesting, they're gonna wash our cars one day. And it's funny to me. It really is. It's funny to me because in that she is telling you that she understands her job isn't about like protecting property and upholding the law. That she understands very well her job is to uphold the status quo. Her job is to uphold things the way they are, no matter how unjust or unequal they really are. And something about that really hit me. It wasn't racist. It just represented a conceptual understanding of who and what she is as a law enforcement officer in the city of Louisville. That's because they play stupid a lot of times. Like they don't know anything. No, you understand what's going on. You are watching a societal shift. And what you're watching is people want different kind of policing. We want to move towards a more egalitarian society. You're watching that. You know what's going on. The world hasn't lost its mind. The world is just now seeing some of the things we've been telling them about for a very long time. They're getting it now. Better late than never. These cases, I don't know why. That almost, the one in Florida not too long ago, the police officer, he was a police chief. He said if there's a burglary, to arrest the very next black man you see. Hold on, I'm gonna find that for you. That was easy as fuck. That was easy. Former police chief in Florida was sentenced to 3 years for plot to frame black people for crimes. I want to show you this because when they tell you about Black Lives Matter and how we make a big deal out of nothing, this stuff exists. You had a police chief that was telling his officers that if a crime or burglary is committed, to arrest the very next black man you see. No evidence. You know, and I guess it used to bother me that you have cops that would do that. That you have cops that are like, I'm not going to do that. Like, you have cops that are literally like, let's go arrest black people. And then you wonder why black men run from you. You wonder why black people, they talk about when they see blue lights in the mirror, they get scared. This is fucking why. This story here. This is why. This is not hard to understand. This man fucking told them that. Now look, what happens if they resist and get their ass whooped over a false arrest? He should have got more than 3 years. Way more. Now, you know, I talk about obviously going to prison during a pandemic. You know, that's beautiful that you're having to deal with that. You have to live in fear of dying of a pandemic because in a prison you have very little control over your own life. So that's a punishment in and of itself. That's like that's a punishment. Since Tuesday, his name Raimundo Atisanio, Biscayne Park Police Department. I'm making clear. This is why I also say that the idea that Mexicans taking over or Latinos taking over, that Latinos are going to make life better for all of us, bullshit. I have never put forward that notion. Ever. These people are not your friends. You should not think they are. Like I said before about, you know, I know what Trump is doing. You know, I get the making Mexicans a straw man, that they're coming to take your jobs. I get it, whatever. And that's wrong. But the idea that you may have that Mexicans getting something helps us is a faulty notion in and of itself. Let's see here. 3 officers work for him, was sentenced to prison for their roles. That's good. That's good. I made some very, very bad decisions. Those aren't bad. Those are criminal decisions. You know what bad decision is if you go out here and you fucking drive too fast and you wreck your car on a 42. Bad decisions are you arrest the wrong person. Bad decisions are like I'm searching your car and I damage it. When you choose, you make the decision to arrest somebody simply on the color of their skin, you are engaging in bias-based policing. And what you're doing, what you're doing is wrong. It's not right. It's not proper. It's illegal. Pure and simple. Very, very bad. Bad. That sound like his uniform was dirty or something. Like I'm on a stop. And I use profanity. Okay, that's a bad decision. That's discourtesy. Best should single out random black people. They have burglaries that are open case and not solved yet. If you see anybody black walking through our streets and they have somewhat of a record, arrest us so we can pin them for the burglaries. Now that's shocking because they don't normally say stuff that blatant. When they say stupid shit, they normally kind of like, hey, weaselly like. It's because it's a Mexican. This is a Latino being a racist. He's not good at it. He's not good. He's not good at it. He doesn't know how to do it. He's not like I kind of leave a little bit kind of like on, you got to read between the lines. He's blatantly telling you like, look, bro, arrest these niggas, put them in cuffs, bring them in. We'll put it together. We'll figure something out. Just get them in the car, man. Make something up. Shit. Free from unreasonable seizure by the police or depriving a teenager of that right. Anyway, I'm done with it. And this was another part of the Trump era. Get tough on them. Get tough on the thugs. Be tough on them. Show them who we are. We're the balls. This is more of the Trump shit. Trump has inspired and encouraged this level of brutality. He has encouraged racially based policing. I mean, it's sad that Trump really took us back. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this guy wasn't already racist, but it just proves to you that look, I always thought when it comes to the federal government, their job is to inspire. They're supposed to be the best of law enforcement, and that's partly because of the money the FBI and this department has. Obviously, they have the crime lab. That's for the whole world. You know, it's far above and beyond the capabilities of many police departments. But what Trump has done with federal law enforcement is used them as a sort of Gestapo bully force, and he has inspired this level of incompetence, but also this level of hatred and viciousness. It's not hard to understand it. He has spun up the culture war. He spun up the culture war, and then you get this stuff. They were talking about, I think it was George Floyd, and Trump was talking about, you have to do that. You have to choke him to death. And Donald Trump compared George Floyd's murder to a golf game. I don't know why that stuck with me. I don't. Because George Floyd is probably a person I wouldn't even want to cross. I would cross the street when I see him probably. But I don't know why that shit touched me. Like, it touched me inside that this is how these crackers see us, man. It's a game. Our lives are a game. Our dreams, our hopes, our families, it's all a fucking game. And at any moment, they'll kill you and they'll be like, well, he had a marijuana possession 20 years ago. He was a criminal. Like, I just realized, like, that's what you're dealing with, people who are in a different universe. It's all white splaining. It's all justifying the things they do. And when he's talking to Ingram on Fox News, Ingram called him on it. Was it Ingram? It was Ingram that called him on it. And she was like, you're not doing that, are you? Which is what Fox News, because Fox News isn't about news, it's about entertainment. Her doing that was about, she's trying, it's all softball questions. Hey, it's not, that's not journalism. It's not supposed to be. Come on. But even Laura Ingraham has to pretend to not be a racist. She has to pretend to be like fair and balanced. Let's get to it. Gentleman's name was David Lopez Zuniga. He was an air conditioner repairman. He lives in a mobile home in Houston, South Side with his family. They don't know anything about elections. Former Houston Police Department Captain Mark Aguirre was arrested and charged for running him off the road, pointing a gun at his head in an attempt to prove claims of a massive voter fraud scheme in Harris County. He tried helping him, said his stepson, helping his father translate. Then Aguirre took out the gun on him. We don't know this man. Don't even know if he was a cop or not, and we've never seen him before. Aguirre, 63, was arrested by Houston police Tuesday and charged with aggravated assault deadly weapon, second-degree felony, punishable by 20 years in prison. I think it was attempted murder. I deem this attempted murder. I deem his actions to have been of a wanton nature. You know, the pulling of the gun, I think that was attempted murder. I really do. Cross the line, dirty politics, commission of violent crime. We were lucky no one was killed, DA said. His alleged investigation was backwards from the start, first alleging a crime had occurred, then trying to prove it happened. That's what conservatives do. I told you, if you have a politics, and your politics isn't based upon science or fact or logic, and you just run around calling everybody libtards and disagree with you, this is what you do. This is the logic of these kind of people. It's not logical. It's not supposed to be logical. That's the point. You know, you run around all day talking about cannibals and stuff. This is it. This is the logic that they have. So of course they've got to pin it on somebody. This is what I say all the time. I'm always armed. It's dangerous out here. I've said it before that we're not always thinking like this. There are some times I'm literally just going to work. There are some times I'm literally just doing whatever I'm doing. For white people, they have something to prove. I learned this over the road. They have something to prove. That's dangerous because you're not thinking the way they are because you're not living the way they live. You're not. So this may lead to you getting killed. It may lead to them running up on you and running you off the road and murdering you. From what I remember, he said the man was hiding 750,000 fraudulent ballots in a truck he was driving. October the 19th. Aguilar allegedly ran his SUV into the back of the truck to get Zuniga to stop and get out. Zuniga got out the truck. Aguilar pointed a handgun at him, forced him to the ground, put his knee on his back until police came. Time of the alleged crime, he was working as a contract investigator for conservative activist Stephen Holtz. He's made a name for himself, alleging widespread fraud. Liberty Center. We pay our investigator close to $3,000, said during an hour-long conference on Wednesday. Asked about his actions, he said the criminal charges are trumped up. They said he had a gun. Why didn't he take his gun away? Something smells there. I don't know anybody that pulled a gun on anybody. First time I ever heard that. I obviously wouldn't condone that. Wait a minute. What? This is his logic. They didn't take his gun away. Dude, he's been booked. He went to jail. Like, you think all that was made up? This is the mindset of conservatives. It's just all fantasy, and they're off somewhere else, and it's all projection, and this is it. This is it. This guy could have murdered somebody, and he would have said that was made up too. This makes it so bad. This guy was a cop. Do you really believe those police officers wanted to set him up? No. Cops protect cops. This makes no sense. They would have remember that bitch in Dallas killed Botham Jean, Amber guy. Remember when that bitch killed him? And they said the Texas Rangers and the Dallas Fraternal Society, they took her like an hour out of Dallas, booked her, and had her in and out of that bitch in less than an hour. That's what cops do. They protect one another. The idea that police officers are going to be hard on another police officer is like, it's unthinkable. I would be shocked by that. When I heard, they said Amber Geiger, they booked her out of that jail so quickly, they couldn't even find like booking paperwork for her. That's what cops do. Yeah. Political prosecutors working in a voter arrested fraud. It was an accident. Member of the car got out and rushed him. That's where the conversation took place. Like, is this really the best? Like, I've heard a lot of conservative shit, but like that's not even like good shit. That you hit somebody and then they rushed you. Okay, so you get back in your car. No. Wow. He crossed the lines, attempt to support one of them. Look, based at the investigation HPD, Harris County Precinct 1, Election Security Task Force. He's in jail on a $30,000 bond. Ooh, he was indefinitely suspended after a botched raid outside of West Side Kmart in 2020. So he's a dirty cop. Okay, now makes sense. He's a quick cop. That's how this stuff works. He was a bad cop. Yep. He was a bad cop. He was essentially fired. I couldn't get a job nowhere else. This is what happens. This is where they go. All right, let's break this down. Remember the Clearwater guy? Remember the Clearwater guy that shot that black man at that convenience store a couple years ago? Let's see if y'all remember that or not. The shooting of Marquise McLaughlin. All right. That case is white man walked up on this lady at a convenience store. She's parked handicapped. He gave her a bunch of lip. The boyfriend came out, confronted him. He pushed the white man. White man shot him, killed him. And they had like records of Michael Draca. They had like records of him confronting people. It was like 4 or 5 different cases of him confronting people. This is real. These people exist. They're not playing. They are aggrieved white men. They feel that they're losing something, and they'll kill you. They will take your life in an instant for something very small, something very petty that you don't even understand. You'll be dead. These people are not playing with you. And that was before Trump lost. Now they really feel like it. That's what makes the empire falling so dangerous. I mean, as the American empire further declines, they're going to get more angry. It's kind of like I read something about like spiders becoming more aggressive due to climate change. Animals getting more aggressive during climate change. Same thing white people. Is they lose more stuff, what they consider aggrievement, you'll get more violence. And that's the real lesson. I mean, this Kyle Rittenhouse character, these are all examples of white aggrievement. I'm gonna get a rifle. I'm gonna get my rifle. I'm gonna go out of another city limits. I'm gonna go to a protest with my gun with a bunch of people who are protesting something else. And then when they confront me, I'm gonna shoot one of them. This is literally what he did. This is literally the mindset of these kind of people. And it's dangerous. Because you don't think that way. You don't live their life that way. You're just trying to live, take care of your family, put a little money away, maybe have a little fun once in a while. Anyway, this is the same thing. It was July 19, 2018. Yeah. I think that this is another example of Donald Trump's bullshit leading to violence, leading to the possibility of the lost human life. This case in Houston could have easily wound up someone dead. I want to be clear. This was a 100% preventable. This would have been a 100% preventable shooting. But it could have happened. You hit this man with your car. How do you know he didn't get a hit concussion? How do you know he don't think you're trying to kill him? This is the Caucasian. This is the mindset of the Caucasian that I've got a gun, I've got the right to go out here and confront people for no reason, and I can do this. This is what really hit me last night when I read this. So this gentleman in Houston, this captain, quick cop, he was suspended, he's fired, whatever, for fucking up. This also represents like corporations and big business, like literally using mercenaries now. Like, let's say it the right way. Like now, they're gonna just literally use mercenaries to get shit done, and just like make no bones about it. That's what we're gonna do. Like I was reading about Kinder Morgan using like police officers as security on the pipelines and stuff. Other cases I've heard the same thing. They're actively using police officers to do what they want to do. When I heard this story, my first thought was, this is a quick cop. Anyway, I just, thanks be to God, this man didn't lose his life behind some bullshit. Thanks be to God that he's being prosecuted for some crooked ass shit like the Arbery case, where they write up his defense. Thanks be to God. Seems like justice is gonna prevail in this one. I mean, it's like the Jordan, the brother, the Jordan Elliott or whatever, the brother in Baltimore Springs, Texas, leaving the party. Police pull up, to the party. The police talked to him on dash, got on the body cam showing he's driving away. One policeman talking to him, trying to stop him. The other cop went and got his rifle, shot up in the car with the rifle, killed the boy, and gave him the middle finger. These are devils, man. Like these motherfuckers are demonic, and they love death. It's a cult of death. Once again, they're trying to prove something. You're not. You're trying to live. You're trying to survive a collapsing system. This gets worse every day. A little bit more worse every day. And you see it in the crisis America faces, how America is more disjointed, balkanized. You see it. You do. How like we think, hey, it's a pandemic, and everybody they're like, no, we don't believe in that. It's not real. You see it. I think that it's a good thing this man wasn't killed. I think he should be charged with attempted murder. I think the pointing him of a firearm, I think the wanton disregard of the other police, the other authorities, telling him to not stop this guy, not do anything, he did it anyway. Like I said, drawing a firearm. I think the giving him orders to get on the ground. I think all of this was attempted murder. I mean, I think that what he did could very well have, and I hope that guy sues the fuck out of him. When I'm reading about the money he got, I hope he sues the fuck out of that cop. I do. I hope he gets paid. I hope he takes that man's house, bro. You pointing a gun at me, you better kill me. Cause I'm gonna take everything from everybody you love. That's my point. I'm gonna take everything. I wanna watch you tell your kids why they can't eat tonight. That's how I am. I wanna watch you. I wanna watch you tell your kids with their stomach grumbling why you can't eat tonight. It's tragic. And it's wrong. And the whole thing just represents a breakdown in civil society. It represents a breakdown in civil society. It breaks down the fact that we don't have legitimate federal leadership. I realize with conservatives that they don't want that. They never wanted that. They want a federal system that's just like helping out the rich and the famous, and not one that pushes things forward. We've got to have people that push society forward. And I don't know. Thanks for listening.